In this week's episode of Working with Work, I want to help you to be able to discover what is truly important to you. Hello and welcome to episode 53 of my Working with Work series. My name is Carl Pauline, and in this week's episode I want to help you to discover the things that are important to you and how to keep yourself focused on those things. So last week's episode was about priorities and focus. This week is, I guess, like a part 2 to that episode. And what I really want to do is to help you to discover what's truly important to you. And now what I've found in the past is the best way to be able to work out what's important to you is for you to sit down in a quiet place, wherever you can find a quiet place these days, and write out the things that you feel are important to yourself. Now, this is best done with pen and piece of paper. There is something about the brain connecting to a pen and paper. I'm left-handed, so the right-handed people, you can do it this way. But the key here is to be able to get them out and identify what is truly important to you. The reason I say this is because most people never sit down and actually identify the things that are important to you. Now, these things can change from time to time. Your family might be very important to you at one particular moment in time, and then your career might be very important to you at another particular time. So you've got to be aware of things changing and moving. That's the way life is. It just moves and ebbs and flows. But you need to remain in control of your life so that you are remaining focused on what is truly important to you. But the thing is, if you don't actually sit down and figure out what it is that is important to you, it really doesn't matter what you're going to do with your life, because somebody else will control your life for you, and they never have a good outcome for yourself, because everyone's really interested in their own needs, their own ideas and their own priorities. So what you need to do is to be able to sit down with a piece of paper. If you really are a digitally minded person, then just open up your notes app, whatever app you're using, and just write down or type in the things that are really important to you. And as I say, these can change from time to time, but these are really related to your core values, the really, really important things that are truly important to you. Now, one of the reasons why I'm doing this second part is because I have a client that I was with this week. Now, she actually has her goal is to go and work in Europe, and she wants to work with the European head office. Now, she's actually doing some work with European head office right now, but I would say 80% of her work is in the domestic office here in Korea. But she really wants to go and work in Europe. Now, the thing is, that actually makes life quite easy to figure out what the priorities are. Any work that comes in from the European office, that is her priority. It must take priority over the domestic work that she's working on. Now, I know that many of you guys out there say, well, that's very difficult because my boss is 5 meters away from me. My domestic boss is 5 meters away from me, and my European boss is several thousand kilometers away from me. But the key is what is important to you. Your domestic boss have their own agenda. Your European boss also have their own agenda. You have to decide what is important to you. What is your agenda? So that you can make sure that you are doing spectacular work on that work. Now, I'll give you another example of people who know where their priorities are. Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, as you know, has spent most of this week in Washington with the politicians in Congress. Now, I read that the Facebook team left California and flew to Washington on Friday last week. That gave Mark Zuckerberg 4 days of preparation with his team. Rehearsal, preparation, coming up with the answers, getting the data, so that when he sat down, because he knew the world's media's attention was going to be on him, and boy, did he know where his priority was. That was to prepare for that congressional hearing. And that is something that leaders and really organized and productive people are super aware of. Where are their priorities now? I can guarantee that Mark Zuckerberg was not checking email, was not listening to the chairman of Facebook, was not listening to the shareholders. For those 4 days, he's been focused on making sure that his answers were accurate, correct, and so that he didn't look a fool in that meeting. And this is one of the reasons why it is so important for you guys to identify what your priorities are and be fully aware that priorities can shift and change over time, and that you need to be aware of that. This is why, as I keep pointing out, the golden 10 minutes at the end of the day is such a vital tool, but really simple tool, where you can sit down and identify what's truly important. Because if you don't, then somebody else is going to give you your priorities, and those priorities are certainly not going to fit into your life. So you need to sort of sit down, get a piece of paper out, and just write out what's truly important to you this year. Start with this year, and then break that down into months. You can then do a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan or even a life plan if you really want to. But without that plan, you will not have any identified priorities, identified things that you really want to focus on, and then you're just not going to get any work done. Once you've identified your priorities, of course, then it's a matter of being able to make sure that you are doing work related to those priorities every single day. That is your focused work. That is your most important work every single day. And I truly want to get this over to you. It's my biggest thing at the moment, which is why I did a video on this last week. It's why I'm doing another video on it this week, because it is the key to building a life that you can be so happy with. It really does make you feel happy when you know you are focused on the things that are important to you. And always remember that your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your boss, your colleagues, your company's chairman, their priorities might not necessarily be your priorities. This is why you have to be really selfish about what is truly important to you. Now, of course, I have many students who've just had have young children, but they're spending their time in the office at 7, 8 o'clock at night. You know, is their priority their work, or is it their children? Whenever I ask them, I say, "Oh, my daughter is my priority." Well, why are you still in the office at 7 o'clock at night? That's because that person has put their boss's priorities ahead of their own. No, you need to be able to identify what your priorities are. You need to then make sure that you are focused in on those priorities. It's truly important. I know, as I say, this is the second episode in just 2 weeks on priorities, focus, and getting the important work done. But it is such a vital part of our lives today, and it really can help you. So don't forget, find that piece of paper, find that pencil, get your priorities written down, and then make sure they are built into your system every single day. Thank you very much for watching this episode. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very productive week. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you want to take your productivity to the next level, I'd just like to let you know that I have just recently launched a new online course called Your Digital Life 2.0 Online. Now, this course is based on the book that I published last year, Your Digital Life 2.0, and it is a fully comprehensive course designed to help you to build your very own productivity system, and it will take you through it step by step, the tools, what you need to set it up, how you need to set it up, and it's really going to help you. I'm going to be updating this course on a regular basis, maybe once or twice a month. I'm going to be adding extra lessons that can really help you to focus in on what's important to you. But not only do you get access to this course, but you also get free access to my Achieve Your Goals course and Supercharge Your Email Productivity course. This is a fully comprehensive course, and you also get a free copy of Your Digital Life 2.0. This is tremendous value, and I really think you should take advantage of this now. And it's only $39.99. If you've already bought the book, you can get the course 50% off, that's $19.99. And if you're already enrolled in my Supercharge Your Productivity course, also you can get 50% off at $19.99. So come on in and get yourself enrolled in this course. The full details are at my website, www.carlpauline.com. I would love to see you there so that I can really help you to get yourself building your very own personal productivity system and a system that works for you. Thanks very much for watching this video. See you next time.